Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Loven Stamp Studio. I'm Meg, and we are making a card today. I know, shocker, right? So the card that we're going to do features the Trusty Tools stamp set and the coordinating dies. Like, check out how many amazing things are in this die set, 1 billion pieces, because they give you so many different options. We're going to talk about a few of them today and how they coordinate with the Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper, which is on a limited lifetime at this point. It is gone February 29th. So if you think this is a paper that you're going to want, don't miss out on the chance to add that to your collection. So I'm glad you guys are here with us. And I have one of those cards today. I know I'm not the only person who's frustrated by this, so give me a thumbs up or a comment or whatever. But when I have a really fun designer series paper, I often hate to cover it up and not have the back side of it show. So Stampin' Up does such an amazing job of, here, actually, let's look at some of these papers. They do such an amazing job of coordinating the prints and the patterns and giving us so many choices. And then like we go and we glue them down and you can't even see the backside. So always a sad day. So today's card actually features both sides of the paper in the way that Stampin' Up has put them together, which I think is really fun. So here are the fronts of these papers, and you can see the tools. There's they're 12 by 12 papers. These are just cut down. But there's 2 whole different sheets of the tools and so forth. And then the back sides have, I like to call them sort of the accessory images. They're such a great set of extra colors and neutrals and so forth, prints that fit with our pieces. So we're gonna make use of both sides of those today, which is, I think, a great way to make the most of our paper. And it's the free SALE-ABration paper. So I was reading comments the other day and somebody's like, oh, I love the way your voice goes up when you say the word free. I'm like, yeah, I guess it does. Because I mean, I think it's exciting too. As demonstrators, we get to take advantage of SALE-ABration perks also. So, all right, with that, I think we should get going with our card. So, hey, Jeffrey, hi, Sue. Oh yeah, and Kelly agrees that we have such great paper front and back choices here with these. So you can see I have remnants of papers here where I've cut out, excuse me, a bunch of tools. These edge pieces here, sometimes people look at these and they're like, those are wasted because the images are cut off. But I often will build a card where like those pieces are cut out and they're just at the edge of the card. So it looks like they are just, you know, kind of coming off of the edges of things. So don't discount these partial images. That's why I save these, because you could totally put them onto a card. And in fact, like just looking at this piece of copper clay cardstock here, if I cut out every one of these partial images and just put them sort of staggered left, right, and top of this card, it would make a really fun border. And then I could put like my message in the middle. So lots of different ways to use these. All right. Hey, Tanya. All right. So with that, let us, sneak peek there. Let us get started with our card. So I have our pieces here. We're just starting with a regular half sheet of copper clay cardstock. And I realized, let's see, that I'm going to need some pieces here. I'm going to need my trimmer. So what we're going to do for this is go ahead and this is a very flexible card. You can measure if you want to, but honestly, you don't have to. So we're going to fold in half. And I know that I'm doing this with the grain of the cardstock, so I'm not going to bother to score. I know, gasp if you're a person who has to score and, you know, burnish with a bone folder. Sorry. But what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and make a corner on this card that's going to flip up. And so I think in the video description, I called it like the clipped corner card or something. But if you have a better, preferably alliterative with repeated letter sounds, card name for this, speak up. I would love to name it something better than clipped corner. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up a little bit on this side, and I'm going to do it just about right there. I'm going to go I'm going to go all the way to this edge right here. So I have no idea what that is up there, but it is that far. So it's a consistent measurement. And I'm going to go ahead and score. So I've got that edge there and the corner down here. And I'm going to go ahead and score there so that I have this edge that folds up here on our card. So this is gonna be the front of our card just like this, okay? And now I'm gonna take a piece of designer series paper, and I always get this backwards, so it will be random, not really random. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about which side I want to be my card front, and I think that I want the ruler part here to be my card front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut on that same line, and then we're gonna have this triangle here, which is gonna flip over to put on the front of our card. So, all right. Except sometimes I get this backwards, so we'll see what happens here. All right, so I'm gonna measure a little bit less there because we want to, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little mark here. Okay, that is my cut line. I need to cut to there of the like fingernail marking, and then I'm going to pop it here, okay? Oh, it is the same. I never forget, never remember. And then I'm just gonna cut with my blade this time instead of putting it on the scoring side. All right, so there we have our little piece here. And then this is gonna fold up, and we're gonna take this triangle and flip it over. And look, it like magically is the right size to fit there. Although actually it's a little bit too big. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna trim it just a hair. So, and by too big, I mean, do you see how it overlaps here? I want it to have a little extra or a little edge showing. So one of the great things about this trimmer is that you can trim away tiny little scraps just like that, which is not true of all trimmers. So now we have our pieces here that fit on our card like so, maybe even a little bit more. I'm gonna trim a little more. So one of the great things about this is that when you do the cutting on this card, you can get away with a little bit of, let's see, I like to have the blade on the other side. You can get away with a little bit of fiddling because you're going to actually cover up the edge here. So if it's a little bit too short, you don't have to worry about it because it's gonna get covered by the flap. So I don't know, folded flap card? I feel like we should get corner in there somewhere. So be thinking about the name for this card. Folded flap, corner, I don't know. Hey, Shar. Hey, Mary Ellen. All right, so let's go ahead and stick these down, and then we're gonna talk about all the other pieces that are gonna come together on this card to make it a great combination. And so let's grab my glue, and I'm gonna pop some glue on the back of this element here and pop this down. So when I'm using SALE-A-bration paper especially, I raise your hand if you're a little bit like me and you like cringe whenever you use giant pieces of designer series paper on a project because you're like, oh, but what if I need that? I want to save that for something else. I was just talking to some people about this with fabric yesterday, actually. Like, don't save your good paper for the perfect project. Use your paper because that's why you have it. So we were talking about not saving the good fabric, just use the good fabric, use the good paper. Okay, so, but when the paper's free, like from SALE-A-bration, then I don't worry about it so much because heck, that was free paper. All right, so we've got this glued down, and now I'm gonna grab a Stampin' Dimensional and pop a couple of dimensionals on the back. When you're working with cardstock like this, it has a tendency to want to pop its layers. So I like to use a little extra adhesive to make sure that this is on here. Oh yeah, Tanya says hand raised. Yes, yes. All right, so we've got our card base down here, but let's talk about decorating this so that it just looks correct, okay? So we have lots of choices of tools. And of these, let's talk a little bit about the stamps and the dies. So the stamp set here has a lot of fun choices in it. The die set has a lot of those fun choices and more. So I'm gonna pull this out and pop this one on. So many of these dies coordinate with the designer series paper. So like here's a selection of papers. I have the little tape measure, there's a die to cut that one out. I have the ruler, or what is that? Not a ruler, wrench. There's a die to cut that out. We have the, let's see, what else is on here? There's a pencil. This cuts out the pencil here. We have the hammer. This cuts out the hammer here. We have the paintbrush, which cuts out the paintbrush, which is on the other papers. Excuse me. We have then the other sets of tools on here. So some of these you would have to fussy cut. If you wanted the screwdriver, I guess it looks like there's not a screwdriver die. But if you are looking to die cut them, know that the Stampin' Up! Artists have put them far enough apart that you can put both dies on the same piece at the same time and cut them all. So really outstanding there. Same here, just use a little piece of washi tape to hold them in place. But what are all the rest of these dies on here? Well, these dies are here to build tools. So if you look here, these are like the little tops of the shears. These are the little handles of the shears. And you can, I don't know, maybe they're not shears, tin snips. Here, they make this. They make this. But there is a place for a tiny little brad there in the middle. And so they actually will spin against each other. You can have little like actual paper pieced tools. This is the drill, which has different pieces here. So you could make this part like silver and this part like, you know, yellow or red or whatever your preferred tool kind is. There's wrenches. There is the top here to go with, there's a handle. Let's see. The hammer top here. This is the handle for the hammer. I guess for this wrench, you would need a handle. Anyway, you mix and match all the pieces, okay? So other things in here are a pegboard, which has the very fun ability to make little hanging spots. You can hang your tools on the pegboard. Otherwise, it's just a great background. And then there is this fabulous sort of plaque die here, which we're going to use today. So I mentioned that the backs of these papers have some really nice sort of neutrally designs. So kind of looking at these here, this one especially, watch, I can't find it. There it is. This one especially, I really like. It's the back of the screwdriver paper, but I like it because it's easy to stamp on. So you can use that for greetings and so forth. So we're going to use this die, and through the magic of television, ta-da, I've got a little tag here, which is going to be our label for our card. And then we have the die pieces here. I have a saw already fussy cut out, and then I think let's go ahead and do some quick die cutting here. So I'm going to pull on these, which we need my washi tape. So I don't know, how many of you guys use washi tape to stick down your dies when you're getting ready to do die cutting? Are you guys a fan of the washi tape plan? Let's see, there we go. I really, I find it has to be the right washi tape sometimes though, because I don't want it to stick too hard to my paper. So we're gonna take this, and I will here invite you back to my studio for a moment and just run this through my die cut machine. So, you can sing a little song to yourself while you die cut. I always find that extra enjoyable in my day. All right, and now we have our pieces back here ready to go on our cards. So we'll pop this off. So we have some color variety and some shape variety, and we'll kind of set these aside so I don't manage to lose them. And our piece there. Okay. All right, thank you, tools. So now we have the pieces here, and I'm gonna need to do some stamping on our tag here. So for our tag, I'm gonna bring in the "You're the Most Awesome" greeting here, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp this here in Real Red, which is a great color fit for our project. And I need both that and the gray granite ink pad. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting in Real Red. And let's see, "You're the Most Awesome." Oh, look, I have one I've stamped. Now, this was like a cheat for me. I didn't put it on the cute little piece here. It just adds so much extra little, I don't know, a little extra bonus there to the project when we're using the extra die cut pieces. So I'll take this and pop this on here. Actually, did I get that inked very well? Yeah, I think so. "You're the Most Awesome." Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our little nuts accent. There's a screw and a nut and I don't know, all the pieces here. And we're gonna do that in gray granite. I love a stamp set that has lots of little accessory images that you can kind of throw on wherever you want. So there is our You're the Most Awesome with those extra little pieces over there. All right, so let's go ahead and work on the front of our card here. I'm gonna kind of put some of these pieces together. And this saw kind of echoes the front of our card, so I don't wanna block too much stuff. I wanna kind of create some other lines to our project. And I don't know, maybe these are too many tools. Nah, there's no such thing. All right, now the other nice thing is that I can overlap the bottom of our card here because this is going to, it's gonna show from the inside. There, we'll get a little closer. And it's gonna show from the inside, but the backs of these are a fun design, so I don't need to feel like, oh, that's not gonna be pretty from the inside. So I am a big fan of just sort of pulling pieces off one at a time to add to our project. And let's see, I think this is a little too wide for dimensional, so you can pick a dimensional edging or you could use the mini dimensionals. I'm just gonna cut a little piece of edge there. Where did that go? Kind of like this, right? So I'm gonna pop this on here. Let's see, do we like our tool pointed up or tool pointed down? I think up. Okay, and then we're gonna pop one more on here to do our tape measure. So there we have our little collage tools, and those are already pre-colored for us because they came right out of the designer series paper. Kelly said, I keep little tabs of washi tape on her machine. Yes. Oh, that's a good suggestion. If your washi tape is super sticky, Kelly said she just presses it on the back of her hand first so that it doesn't super stick and ruin the surface of your paper. That's a good, good trick. Let's see. Sue says always washi tape and use the mince tape. Deanna says she uses tape to hold her dies down too. Yeah, I just find it super handy. So, all right, so there's the front of our card, but then we're gonna add, actually, you know what? Okay, this is bothering me a little that this is so like poppy-uppy here. So I am going to go ahead and pop another dimensional here on the back to just hold that down. There we go. Now it's not so poppy-uppy there. It was a little, I'm all about texture, but that was a little bit much for me. Okay, now we need something on the inside of our card. And I have a piece of basic white cardstock. It's just 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches so that it fits perfectly in there. And we want to do some stamping. So first of all, it's gonna offset this corner where it's showing off our corner, clipped corner card. I haven't heard any other suggestions yet for a name, so that's what we're going for now. But what I wanna do is I wanna add some stamping to this. And so we're gonna grab one of our tools. I think, let's see, I have not used the hammer yet, so maybe I will use the hammer. And these stamps are fun because A, you will never run out of the, you'll never run out of options for die cutting with this stamp set. Like you could eventually run out of designer series paper, although there is quite a bit in the package. You could eventually run out of those tools. But if you have the dies and the stamps, then you're never gonna run out of these things because you can always stamp what you need. And then we have this extra handle tool here, which is not gonna fit on this tiny block. So we'll go ahead and pop that one on here. So we have our hammer and its handle, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this. Now, I'm gonna use this as a guide because I want to see where this is gonna come down on our card. So I'm gonna pop the hammer down here. So I just took a quick look to see how that would fit with our card closed. And then I'm going to pull back my real red here, and we're going to layer the handle here. There we go, on our tool. Now the top of this you can leave plain just like it is, but I kind of like to do some coloring with it. So I've got my gray granite Stampin' Blends markers, and I'm gonna go ahead and color not on that because the blend markers, remember, they saturate the cardstock, and so you want to be careful about what's underneath because you don't want to have that marker saturation go through onto a surface that you weren't planning to color. So, all right, we're gonna color this around here. Now there's all these color here lines on our piece here, so I'm gonna take my dark blend, and I'm going to go ahead and do the coloring here on them. So those are lines where the Stampin' Up! Artist that drew this said there should be a shadow here. So if you want your tool to be sort of realistic-y, then you want to add some extra color there on the color here lines. Now, you can leave it just like that, but I kind of like to do the blending, which is a perk of these. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of extra light there at the intersection between the light and the darker. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna just spread that color around just a tiny bit so that we have just a little bit less stark line here between the two. Kind of see how that works? So then you have a hammer that has some fun shaping to it. Maybe I'll continue this down here just a little bit. There we go. That has some fun shaping to it and some extra dimension. All right. Certainly you could skip the Stampin' Blends part. You could leave the tool not colored. So these are pretty flat here. So you could just do it all in one color and just leave it like that. But that's certainly your choice. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see some suggestions for what to name this. Oh, hey, Cindy. Oh yeah, Cindy said she uses blue painter's tape, which can be quite sticky, but she sticks it on the back of her jeans first to take some of that sticky off. So that's a safe way to use it. And hello, North Dakota. Let's see. Oh, Tanya called it a diagonal fold card. Yeah, that certainly covers it too. I'm a huge fan of alliteration, though. I feel like it's catchy, right? Oh, and hello from the Netherlands. Yay. We are so happy to have stampers join us from all over this morning. And yes, you will be able to watch this later. So no problems. Don't worry about that. Okay. It'll be posted almost immediately here on Facebook since you're watching now. Or if you're watching on YouTube, then you are watching the replay. So, all right. So we're just going to go ahead and take this and pop this down onto the bottom here. And if you're wondering why I always tap first with the glue, it's to get the glue down in the bottom. Think of it like a very old mercury thermometer. Remember, you used to shake the heck out of those things to get the mercury down so that you could use it as a thermometer. So the glue is just a little bit like that, but free of mercury. And the reason that I tap it is to make sure the glue is down at the tip so that when I squeeze it, the glue is ready to come out. It's really frustrating. I know that they have this nice broad base to them, and so people want to set them down on the table like this all the time, but don't do it. Don't do it. You want to tap it this direction. So when I set my glue down, I either set it in a little toothpick holder, some people call these. This one is from a Stampin' Up! Mediterranean cruise, actually, that we did years back. But if you just set it right in here, then it's always ready to go. Or if I don't have one handy, then at least I just lay it flat on the table. But either way, then it's ready to go on your project. So the problems come with these when the glue is at the wrong end of the tube from being set like this, and then I pick it up and squeeze it, and I squeeze it, and I squeeze it, and nothing comes out, and then suddenly all of it comes out, because what's happening inside is that the glue is up here, and I'm squeezing, and then the glue falls down, and then it comes out everywhere. So remember, always tap them down so that it's ready, or store it flat, or store it facing this direction. So, all right, that was my public service announcement about this fabulous glue. So. All right, but we need an embellishment, right? Oh my gosh, we almost got away without the bling. So my favorite bling for this suite is the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. And so let's pull some of these out here. I kind of like these here. And I'm gonna use my take your pick tool, and we're gonna pop a couple of these on here. So I'm gonna put a smaller one, maybe, let's see, we didn't leave ourselves a ton of space for embellishments. I'm going to put a smaller one there, and then I'm going to put a larger one kind of up here. So they're kind of strengthening our focal point here without being too distracting. And then we have our finished tool card. So there are so many choices with this paper and these stamps and dies. And I'll show you a couple other ones. Here's one that is the opposite. So on this one, it's the same paper, but let's get some of these ink pads out of the way. same paper, but opposite choice on popping the pieces on. So you can see I switched the greeting and the little tools so that the greeting here on this one was closer to the focal point there in the center. Oh, I guess actually I didn't switch. I swapped the paper, but I have the thing going the same direction. Oh, so many pieces, right? And then I do have another one with a different paper. This one, I featured the this blue pretty peacock paper and the stripes that go with it. So there's sort of another version of it. And you can see too here, I stamped the wrench handle, but I didn't color in the tool here. So really kind of fun. So let's see. All right. So I didn't hear any alliterative, any other alliterative things. So we're calling this the clipped corner card until we get a better suggestion. So, oh yay. I'm glad. Yeah. If you're jumping in late, of course you can go ahead and watch this card a little bit later. So, it will be posted right away, but either way, Trusty Tools and its coordinating die set are available in the mini catalog until the end of April. And then the designer series paper that we used to find all of these pre-colored tools and backgrounds and fun things, this one is part of the SaleABration Mini, and so you will not want to miss out on this one because this one ends on February 29th. Oh, Peekaboo corner card. Oh, I kind of like that, Cindy. Peekaboo is good because it like implies that we're looking. Peekaboo is much better. I think I'm gonna have to change the title of my video. Let's see. I don't suppose we could come up with something alliterative on it. Is there a word for corner that starts with a P? I like the Peekaboo though. Okay, anyway. So paper here from here expires here on February 29th. So don't miss out on this or while supplies last. So you'll want to grab that sooner rather than later. All right. Oh, Joan says, yes, great masculine cards. You bet. Anybody who is a handy person in your life, this is the fabulous card for them. And honestly, anyone who is the most awesome in your life could get this card. So, but yeah, we have some great handy people in my family too. So definitely a card that I will be able to put to good use. So. All right, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, which we like to call pre-Friday here on Maker Mornings with Meg. And so a happy pre-Friday to you. I'm looking forward to getting together with my Loven Stampfuls demonstrator team tomorrow night for a fun Zoom together. So if you haven't seen that yet and you are one of the demonstrators in my group, then you're going to want to check our Facebook page for that or watch your email later today for an invitation. So we have a virtual gathering, which I love doing with everybody. And then I will be back here on our Loven Stamps Facebook page for everyone on Tuesday morning with another Maker Mornings with Meg video at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Or as always, you can watch all of the replays on YouTube after the lives are done. So happy pre-Friday, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a chance to get some stamping in. We have lots of jazz on our calendar. We're going to Indiana for my son's jazz show, competition, I don't know what it is. Anyway, they're playing jazz this weekend, so another jazz weekend in February for us. Hope you have a great day, and I will look forward to seeing you guys either on Friday for team members or Tuesday for everyone in Maker Mornings with Meg. And if you are not a demonstrator and you've been thinking about it and you would like to join us, please send me a message with any questions you might have. Send me an email, send me a snail mail, send me a Telegram, whatever works, direct message. And I'd be happy to answer your questions. This is a great time to sign up as a new demonstrator. You can get that fancy glass mat that I've been using in my videos as part of your starter kit as a bonus. It's actually the only way to get it right now is in a demonstrator starter kit. And the starter kit is a great deal. So if your wish list is over $100, you basically should sign up to be a demonstrator. So because you get your starter kit at a discount, which is a great deal. And then you get at least a 20% discount on your own things going forward from there. So even if you're ordering just for yourself as a demonstrator, that's perfectly okay. Like I said earlier, we get all the perks as a demonstrator that we do as, customers just buying Stampin' Up supplies. So that is a nice perk to have a discount too. So anyway, I would love to help you guys get started. So Link is in the video description for the supplies as always, and I appreciate your watching this morning. I will see you again soon. Happy stamping, everybody.